You know what's happening, don't you?
I do indeed. You know what? I've been down this road before. You told me you wouldn't get to 100. Then you couldn't get to 200. Then you said, I'm never going to make 500. So you've got me onto every time. Congratulations. But you know what? This is a milestone. This is like climbing Everest.
Yeah.
1,000 shows.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was 1,000 people that you knew, but you obviously found them. And congratulations, man. You've obviously got a great job. You make people feel comfortable. And I can see that I'm going to be on now for the 2000th show. But so
for sure.
Hurry up, will you?
Hey, listen.
Please hurry up. Good luck to you.
I want to say something now. All right. In honour of being the hairdresser of the Beatles, right? I had to wear my Let It Be t-shirt because you did their hair. And I mean, how massive is that? Come on. The world loves you just
and how
for
messy
that.
is that? That's a messy haircut. But that's a good haircut.
And not only that, you know, they're releasing hundreds of books every week, new Beatle books. But let me tell you, this is two of the best. There you go, Leslie Cavendish, The Cutting Edge.
Oh,
Make sure
my
you
God,
go.
I had never seen that before. Hold on. I think I've got the other copy. That, believe it or not, look at this.
Is that, yeah, okay. But have you got the one from Spain?
I got the one from Spain, but I'm not going to tell you. You can't speak Spanish. Okay. Anyone who wants to speak Spanish, get to me. But yes, here it is.
Okay, ole, ole. And I just want to say something else here. You can't buy this book without this book, right? The Beatles and me on tour, Ivor Davis. Now, you know the guy stays up late just to watch us. So he'll be watching this, right?
Good. That's a good double act. The Beatles with Ivor Davis and some hairdresser that cut someone's hair. Yeah, that's a good bookshelf for people who want to read good books.
Yeah, I just want to say, you're both my uncles. I love you both. You know that. And I just want to tell everybody, go out there, get that book. I think he's going to extend this book now, The Beatles and Me on Tour, Ivor Davis. And don't go and get The Cutting Edge by Leslie Cavendish, because there's so many great stories in both these books. But, you know, at the moment, there's so many Beatle books coming out. I can't keep up with it. I've done so many interviews now within the last 3 months of just Beatle authors, and it's just coming from everywhere, you know. I can't understand how much money people have got.
Well, it's not that. It's just that people are writing about every single thing that they can think of. I've got a new book coming out as well, which I will tell you about a little bit later. Yeah. But when it comes out, it'll be an exclusive to you. But you're going to be, this one's going to blow your mind, the book I've got.
That's fantastic. I need to blow my mind. You know, Ivor Davis, I came up with the best sayings about Ivor Davis. And this is what these two things are for marketing, right? Ivor Davis is groovy and is famous. That's the first one I came up with, the original. But then I thought I'd extend that because you do a lot of seminars with him, right? You two are like just together, you know what I mean? And this is the other one. Ivor Davis, he's the greatest. Okay, come on.
You sound like a white Muhammad Ali.
And don't we love the Beatles? And I want to say a big hello, right, to Michael Lindsay Hogg. The guy's just fantastic, all right? I don't want to say anymore. I love the guy. Now, also got to say this, as you know, Paul McCartney's coming to Australia to do his tour. And also Kiss has been selected for the AFL football grand final. They'll be playing at the, you'll see that live all over the world. I'm sure you're going to watch that.
I think that's their final tour. I was with them in London, and I think, again, it's their final tour, but I think this looks like it is the final of the final tour. But what's final? But if you get a chance, anyone, to go and see Kiss, first of all, say hello to Tommy Thayer from me, and also most spectacular rock act. Incredible. So,
exactly. Now, I've got to tell you one thing about Kiss. They are the greatest when it came to merchandising. They learnt the lessons of the Beatles, and they followed what it was right, not to make any mistakes. And I've got to say that they are the most merchandised band in the world. The most merchandised band, bigger than the Beatles when it comes to merchandise, is Kiss. That is a fact.
They are. And also, as well, I was having lunch with them all, and every one of them is a Beatles fan.
I know.
You know, they really are. They get their inspiration from the Beatles, and as you well know.
Since you you're the hairdresser to the Beatles, right? Did any of them say to you, Leslie, would you be kind enough to give me a haircut? Because they know that you were cutting the hair for the Beatles. If I was a Kiss member, I would have gone, Leslie, can you cut my hair? Did anyone ask that?
Yeah. Tommy the spaceman. Spaceman wanted his haircut.
And did you cut it?
So not yet, because he's still on tour. I couldn't give him a skinhead like I gave Paul McCartney. But when I go to LA, I'm meeting up with him and I'll see if he's retired and I may give him a haircut there. But, you know, in fact, he's got his own winery. So I think would rather have his bottles of wine than I'll cut his hair. We'll see what happens. You go
and sit down there and relax. Now, I want to ask you something on a serious note, right? I want to know your most loved Beatles album. What is your favorite Beatles album of all time?
Hard Day's Night.
Is it?
Yep.
That's unbelievable, because I thought you might go for Rubber Soul or Sgt. Pepper, but that's a great album. 1964, when A Hard Day's Night came out, and I was in elementary school, that's in America, but because I'm in Australia, it was state school, as you know, and we had those red pillar boxes and those red telephone boxes, same as England when I grew up in the 60s. And it's amazing when you think A Hard Day's Night, when it came out and I heard it, it was like something you'd never heard before. That's how great that song was.
It was a very raw album. It was one of the early ones, as you say. Listen, the other albums, Rubber Soul, is also tremendous. But this was just when they started even moving on to 1632 track, you know. But those early albums were fantastic. I just loved them. I grew up with them, and there's some songs on there that are fantastic. So, yeah, you know, all the albums, you know, very hard to pick one, but I go for that one. What's your favourite album? My
favourite album, Leslie's Please Please Me, because I just love every single song, and it's the Beatles coming out and saying, here we are, we're going to change the world, and this is us, this is our music, and we're the music of your generation. Without the Please Please Me, there'd be nothing. I mean, I saw us standing there, Chains, Misery. I mean, you know, they wrote Misery for Helen Shapiro, and she didn't know anything about it. Went to a management, they didn't give it a song.
There's a whole book with your many people that I suppose that you've interviewed, the songs the Beatles gave away.
Exactly. You know? I interviewed the author.
I knew a lot of the songs that the Beatles, we say, gave away. I mean, they even gave away to the Stones, didn't they?
Yeah, I Want to Be Your Man.
There you go.
But you know the story with that.
A taxi ride in London.
Yeah, but you know the story with that. John Lennon came out later and said, that song was for Ringo. You didn't think we were going to give him an A-side song, did you? Leslie, I just want to say, you know, over the course of the journey of 1,000 shows, I'm very fortunate that we're able to get Beatle people and, as I said, be the glue that actually brought Beatle people together, because people didn't know who was what from the Beatles or who was in England. And over COVID, everybody got to learn about the Beatle people and they were able to connect. So it's really great, the fact that that actually happened. And I can't thank you enough. And I'm just saying, being your friend, being Ivor Davis's friend, being Chachi's friend, being Charles Rosenau's friend, the list goes on, right? Sean Weeks. I mean, it doesn't stop. These are great people, like all the people. And I just want to say out there to the world, you know, I've done this. I got to 1,000. Took me just over 3 years. It's unbelievable. I dedicated my time, basically my life, day, night, day, night, day, night. And it's an experience that, you know, historically, all these interviews are going to live forever. You know, I might not be here. I haven't had a chance to see these 1,000 interviews, but one day I will. And I just want to say, it's just the greatest honor to have been able to do that. And meeting you and, you know, you come on the show, you supporting the show, and you just being you, it's just so fantastic. I wake up every day. I got your book, you know, and it's not that. It's
Thank you.
You're a person of the world, you know, and your history in Beatle legend is going to be there forever. I'll give you an example. I just was going through the internet. There you go. There's a picture of the Beatles from Magical Mystery Tour at the front of the fish shop counter. And who's there between them? Leslie Cavendish, hairdresser to the Beatles. I mean, does it get any better than that in your life?
Well, you know, thanks. I know you're so enthusiastic, and your personality gets people like me interested in you. And I'm sure all the other authors, all the other Beatle people say thank you, because I've met many people through you who have contacted me, and I've contacted them. I've met them, and I wouldn't have met them without your help. So a big thank you from me and to all the other people in the Beatle world for reaching this milestone, which is a milestone. 1,000 shows is a big one. So well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you, Leslie. And I just want to give you our love from Plastic EP and Vicky.